to all things Bitcoin and blockchain right now. One of the top examples of when people say, here's what blockchain could be useful for, it is security settlement, is knowing who owns what. What are you doing in terms of real-world stuff pursuing that possibility?
Yeah, over the last 2 years, I would say blockchain went from being kind of an interesting conceptual element of what could be in the capital markets to being, then last year, a lot of proof of concepts, experimentation. And then as we came through 2017, we started to have real applications for it. So one is we're implementing the blockchain to support proxy voting in South Africa on the back of a proof of concept we did in Estonia. We did a proof of concept in Europe around the settlement of OTC securities with an exchange partner and several banks. And we are applying the blockchain to our NASDAQ private market to allow for instantaneous settlement of private securities. So there's a lot that's actually going into the market today and being applied. What you're seeing is it's applying to less regulated spaces, and then going forward, it will start to creep into the regulated markets as people understand the true benefit of the capital efficiency of what the blockchain can create.
I think Melissa has a question next. Melissa.
Yeah, hi, Adina. It's Melissa. I wanted to ask you, your exchange is going to be the last one to go and launch Bitcoin futures. We've seen them launch already in the CME and CBOE. In the meantime, we had a chance to speak to the CEO of the NYSE, Thomas Farley, and he actually had some not positive words to say about Bitcoin, the asset itself. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin, the asset itself, and does that matter what you think of the asset when you're launching a futures contract?
Well, I do think that it's important that we play an important role in the capital markets and people trust us to understand what we are ultimately going to be offering out to investors. So we've been doing a lot of work to understand what is Bitcoin, or what are cryptocurrencies in general. What's the ecosystem? How is it evolving? Who are the biggest players? How resilient is it? That's a big part of our education, and it's also the reason why we didn't jump right in to doing a Bitcoin future, because we wanted to make sure that we really understood, is this an asset class that's sustainable over time? And if we're going to be providing it, are we providing something that will last? So we are still in that education process, working with clients. We have a great partner in Van Eck we've been working with on that as well. But we are still in the exploratory phases, and we will get ourselves ready when we're ready.
All right. Dina, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Carl, back up to you.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. As we go to break, take a look at the Dow winners for January as we wrap up that month. Boeing led the pack. Not surprisingly, Microsoft, Travelers, Nike, and Visa also on the list. Stocks at this hour for the meantime.